Hey guys, so I'm doing my declutter video today, and just in case you're new to my channel and you don't know what that is, once a month I go through my entire makeup collection and I pull out the things that are the oldest that are cream, liquid, gel, any kind of a liquid creamy consistency. So things like mascara, lipsticks, cream eyeshadows, concealers, anything that is of that nature, because they develop bacteria over time, and it is not a good idea to hang on to things after you've had them for a certain amount of time, because you can develop an infection, you can get sick. It's just not a good idea. So I try to go through and pull out all the oldest things, and then I do a video, and this is a series that I'm just starting this year. I've only done one so far. You can go back if you're new and play catch up and watch the one that says January Declutter. So this is the February one. And so I just show you the products that I'm going to be throwing away and then tell you how I feel about each product and whether I would buy it again or what I did or didn't like about that product. All right, so let's get started. The first thing I'm going to show you is a foundation. This is CoverGirl True Blend Foundation. I liked this a lot, and the only reason why there is still a lot of product in this bottle is because when I bought it, I really enjoyed it, and it was a good color match, it was a good formula. I pretty much liked everything about it. It's in a pump until the mechanism got clogged one day, and I didn't know that it was clogged, and I went to pump it on the back of my hand, and it went shooting across past my hand onto the wall next to me. Well, needless to say, I was freaking out because I was petrified that it was going to stain the wall, and I don't have wallpaper in my house. I have painted walls, so it was a little bit easier to clean it than if it had been wallpaper. Forget it, it would have been ruined. But I do have paint, and I was able to clean up the wall okay, and it didn't leave a mark, thank God, but it could have. And so from that point on, I had a deep resentment towards this foundation, and it just sat there for a long time. Now, I have used it a few times in the last few months just to kind of refresh my memory what I thought about it, and I do really like this. I would recommend it, but beware, the mechanism gets clogged. So keep that in mind if you decide to try it, that when you're pumping it out on the back of your hand, make sure that you are holding it at such an angle that it's not going to shoot past you and get on something that could be ruined. But I did like it. By the way, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on each thing because, I don't want the video to be too long. This isn't really like a product review video, so it's going to be like a brief summary of each thing. Okay, next are some concealers. I had purchased these Physician Formula correcting concealers, and it comes in a trio, and it says 1, 2, and 3 on there, and one of them was yellow. I don't have that anymore because it really doesn't serve any purpose for me to use a deep yellow concealer on anything on me. That's not going to help me out in any way. So I don't have the yellow one anymore. I threw that out a long time ago. But what I did hang on to was the pink one, which I use pink as an under eye corrector to counteract my dark circles. And then the beige one, I normally will put a beige concealer on top of the pink just to even it out the skin tone so that it won't be too crazy pink or too light, and make it look more like natural skin, and so that I won't have like bright under eyes. I do like to brighten up the area, but within reason. You still want it to look somewhat like skin. So this was a trio, didn't use the yellow one, and I did like this. But what I have since found, since I bought this, is that if you use a pink corrector with a creamy consistency rather than a liquid, it works even better at blending into your skin, and the texture of it is just easier to blend and works better. So that's why I don't use this anymore, but it is pretty darn good. Although I haven't really seen this in stores anymore, so I don't even know if this is still available. But if you come across it, like at a discount store or something, you might want to try it because it actually does work pretty good. So I did like that. And then I have Rimmel Wake Me Up Anti-Fatigue Effect Radiant Glow Concealer. It's a long name. This was in the shade Very Fair. I had never seen a concealer in the shade Very Fair. And I thought, you know, if it's very fair, that means it's going to be very light in color, and it will probably make that area even brighter and lighter. This was when I wanted to see if I could find a concealer that would work on its own without using a corrector under it. And I did like this, but it's a little too yellow for me, and it ended up being a little too light. I have found that I'm better off using a pink corrector and then more of a fair concealer rather than very fair over that. That I just can't use just a concealer because, as you can see, you know, my under eyes are kind of hollowed out, so I can't use just a concealer. So this didn't really work for the way that I wanted it to be used. And then this is Almay Smart Shade CC Concealer and Brightener. I thought this was going to end up being perfect for me because what it is a pink corrector on one side and then a beige concealer on the other side. Well, the concealer is it's almost like orangey yellow, so the color doesn't really work that well for me for the concealer, but I did like the corrector when I first bought it, but then once it had been opened and used a few times, it started to dry up really fast and the consistency changed and it wasn't as creamy anymore. But I did like the idea behind that, and it did work pretty well for me because it is more of a cream than a liquid. But, you know, I'm constantly trying out different things, and this is discontinued, so this isn't even available anymore. So thank God I didn't fall in love with it because I wouldn't have been able to repurchase if I did love it. Okay, next is going to be cream eyeshadows. I love cream eyeshadows as a base. A lot of times I will use a regular eyeshadow base, but a lot of times I also would prefer to just use a colored base and then put my eyeshadows on top of that. It just all depends on what I feel like that day or what eyeshadows I'm using, because if certain eyeshadows require different kinds of bases, if you're using an eyeshadow that's dry, then you might want to look for an eyeshadow base that has a lot of moisture to it to sort of balance things out. But anyways, so I have some cream eyeshadows here that are you know, old and should be thrown out. The first two things I'm going to talk about are a couple of Milani Shadow Eyes. Milani Shadow Eyes 12-hour wear eyeshadows. These are amazing, you guys, if you can find them. And the reason why I say that is I'm seeing these less and less in stores now, so I don't know if they're on their way out or what the problem is, or if it's just that stores that carry Milani only have so much shelf space, so they can only fit so many products, so they concentrate on other categories. I don't know what the deal is, but this is a wonderful product. The first one is Champagne Toast. This might be my all-time favorite cream eyeshadow in stick form, or in any form actually. The color is just so beautiful, and I love the formula of these. And once I started to see that these weren't that easy to find anymore, I bought two of these. I sent one to my friend June as part of her combination birthday Christmas present, and the other one was my backup. And I was just so afraid that I wasn't ever going to be able to find these again, that when I did find them, I bought the only two that were on the shelf. So yeah, Milani Shadow Eyes Champagne Toast, just gorgeous, gorgeous color. Let me swatch that for you so you can see how beautiful it is. So it's like a pinky champagne, and even though this is old, it's still nice and silky and creamy, but just from a bacteria standpoint is why I'm getting rid of it, because like I said, I have a backup, so I'm all set. And then this one, I believe this one was a limited edition. It's called Cafe au Lait, and it's just a brown. And this one is starting to get a little dry, but it's a really pretty like milk chocolate brown. But this type of color isn't something, it's too dark for me to just put all over my lids and blend it out and put eyeshadows on top. So I don't really care that I have to throw this out because it's too dark for me anyway. But if you are a woman of color, you probably do already have this or would have enjoyed using this. But yeah, this is too old, and I'm pretty sure this was limited edition. Okay, next I have a MAC paint pot. This is in the shade Groundwork, and I did really enjoy this, and let me show you what this looks like swatched on skin. So that's actually a pretty good brown for me because it's dark enough to look good with a lot of eyeshadows on top. It's light enough that I can get away with it with my skin tone, but dark enough that it will show up. It's just that nice in-between kind of brown color. And I do really like this, and I wish I had used it more because you can see that there isn't that much gone from this. But I won't throw this away. What I'll do is I'll put it in a box that I have of MAC stuff that's old, and then when I have 6 items, I bring them back to the MAC counter and I get a free lipstick. So I won't throw this out. But I did really like this, and I might purchase it at some time. It is definitely one of my favorite paint pots of all time. My favorite 3 paint pots, I would say, would be Painterly, which is also sitting in the box already because that one was older than this. And I haven't repurchased Painterly just because I have so many other things that I can use that it seems like a waste to get that, even though I love it. And then my other favorite MAC paint pot is Taylor Gray. That's a really unusual color. It's like a taupe, but it's got like a hint of purple to it. I love that. Love, love, love that. But anyways, yeah, so this will go in the box. I love it. I might repurchase it someday, maybe not. I'm kind of staying away from high-end things right now. I'm sure you've noticed by the content of my videos that I'm doing mostly drugstore type product reviews and hauls and mini reviews and things like that because, well, that's actually a long story and I don't want to start talking about that and explaining it now, but that would probably be the only reason why I wouldn't repurchase this because I'm not really buying high-end stuff right now. But yeah, I'll talk about that in another video because we're already at 13 minutes and I still have quite a few things to go. So I'm going to have to go fast. The next few things are color tattoos. These 4 color tattoos were from a limited edition collection, and I do really like Maybelline color tattoos now. I didn't used to like them because when they started to dry up, I didn't really know how to fix them to get them to work good again. But now I know. Just put 2 or 3 drops of glycerin in the jar and stir it up, and it'll be good as new, if not better, in consistency than what it was. So I do really like color tattoos, and these 4, it breaks my heart to get rid of them because they are my favorite limited edition color tattoos that ever came out. This one is Nude Compliment, and it looks all funny because it's been doctored up with glycerin and stirred up, so the consistency looks really weird after you do that, but it still would work. I'm not going to be able to swatch all these because this video is getting crazy with the time, but how beautiful is that? It's like a taupe. It's like a gray. It's a taupe. But I love that, and it breaks my heart to get rid of it, but I don't want to take any chances and end up with an eye infection because I hung on to something too long. This is pure nude. This is just like a beige, so this is definitely replaceable. And I probably have other beige nude cream eyeshadows anyway. This is Sleek and Spice. This is like the warm tone version of that taupey one that I showed you. This is like a warm taupe, whereas the other one was like a cool taupe. And then the last one is Stroke of Midnight. And this is a black. It's got a little bit of silver sparkles in it. But this one dried up really fast and doesn't have the same texture or consistency as those others did. I was intending on using this for either a black base or also maybe like a black gel eyeliner, but I didn't end up using it hardly at all because I had other things that I preferred, so we won't really miss that. And then I've got some eyeliners that I'm going to get rid of. Now when it comes to eyeliners, if it's the type that you sharpen, you can just sharpen them if you haven't used them in a while, and that will sort of refresh them and bring them back to life and scrape off the bacteria that's developed on the outside or the end. But if you have a eyeliner that's a twist up, there isn't really anything you can do to freshen it up or save it or make it safer. So I try not to buy those kind anymore for that reason, but you know, sometimes you just kind of have to. So I have a couple of Revlon Color Stay eyeliners. This one is black brown, and this one is just brown. I used to like Revlon eyeliners, but I don't know. They dry up pretty fast, and these were twist ups, and so, you know, they're old. Get rid of them. And then this is a L'Oreal Infallible eyeliner in the shade Navy, and this is a twist up also. I do really like these, the formula on these, but like I said, it's a twist up. It's old, so it's going. And then this last one is not a twist up, but I'm getting rid of it because it's a L'Oreal Silkissime eyeliner, and you sharpen these. This is a beautiful champagne color, but it irritates my eyes. So, and plus it's old now. But I don't know why I kept it all this time, because I should have returned it is what I should have done, because the first couple times I used this, or actually the only couple times I used this, I knew that it was irritating my eyes, but it was such a beautiful color that I really didn't want to get rid of it. Let me swatch it next to that Milani Shadow Eyes in Champagne. Oh, I can't even swatch it now. It's all dried up. All right, scratch that. But yeah, this irritates my eyes, so I can't wear those. All right, next are some mascaras. And honestly, it feels like I just bought these, but I guess I didn't. With mascaras, 3 months is really when you should get rid of your mascaras. Sometimes I push it and keep them a little bit longer. It depends how many mascaras I'm using at the time. If I have some that I really like, then I will get rid of the other ones after 3 months. But if I don't have that many going on, sometimes I'll push it to like 4 months or even 5 if I really love a mascara. So anywhere between 3 and 5 months, I would say. CoverGirl Lash Blast Volume. Classic. Good mascara. I don't know. I don't want to get, you know, too bogged down on this. It's just, it's good. I like it. Would I repurchase? Yeah, I would. But I love trying new things, so I'm usually always trying new mascaras, but this is a big seller and has been for years for a reason. It is a good mascara. Maybelline Great Lash Lots of Lashes. This is not the original, so don't think that's horrible. I've tried that, it's horrible. No, this is the one called Lots of Lashes. There is the applicator, kind of looks like a Christmas tree. Good mascara. I don't like the original. This one is very good. The applicator makes it really easy to get all those finer lashes, like on the inside of your eyes, I like this. I would repurchase that if I wasn't always trying new mascaras. L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black. Also another good mascara. I like this a lot. I think the key with this one is to get the one that says Carbon Black, not the original one. Really good mascara. I don't know. I really like it. I would repurchase that if I wasn't always trying new mascaras. Okay, the rest are lip products, and we're going to have to go really fast because this is really getting out of control here with the time. Okay, Revlon Color Burst Matte Balm. I like these. This is straight up orange. This is mischievous, and I always want to wear peaches and oranges, but they seldom will work on my skin tone. And that's really orange, and so I would not repurchase that. The color just doesn't work for me, but I love the formula of those. Maybelline Color Sensational Nude Embrace. Yeah, this was from a limited edition collection. And it's sort of a grayish pink. It's a pretty unusual color. There it is right there. I really like the color of this, but it was limited edition, so it's not available anymore. But if that was a permanent shade, I would probably repurchase it because I did really like the color. Okay, same thing. Maybelline Color Sensational limited edition collection, Ravishing Rose. This is $9.75. They do have another lipstick called Ravishing Rose in their permanent line, but this was a limited edition color. And this is a pretty peachy pink color. Gorgeous. And if they had this particular one permanent, I probably would repurchase that too, because I really did like that. Both of those shades from the limited edition collection, I think that was the Dare to Go Nude collection that all these limited edition things that I'm getting rid of was in. It was a spring collection from 2 years ago, which is how long I usually keep things that are cream, liquid, and gel, 2 years. Okay, this is an Urban Decay Revolution lipstick in the shade Native. That's what that looks like. What I've noticed about the Urban Decay Revolution lipsticks is there are all different formulas within the line. And I didn't realize that when I bought this. There it is right there. And I don't know, something about this, I didn't feel like it really looked that good on me. I'm not sure why, because in theory it should. And the formula, something about the way this particular one sat on my lips. I don't know, it was like too thick and cakey and just didn't seem to want to blend that well. I didn't really like this that much, so I wouldn't repurchase that particular one. I do like Urban Decay Revolution lipsticks though, but every single one is different from shade to shade, so that's kind of tough when you're trying to figure out which ones to get. I would say, you know, use the testers and do swatches on your hand if you're interested in buying one of those, because you can tell a lot by swatching a lipstick. Okay, the next 3 lipsticks are Wet n Wild Mega Last lipsticks. I really like these, and they're a little dry, but I would say it's worth it because, you know, just moisturize your lips with something heavy duty ahead of time, because these are so great. They're $1.99 a piece. They come in some great colors. Some of them are dupes for matte colors, and they're really pigmented, really opaque. They last a long time on your lips. I'm sure you're all familiar with Wet n Wild Mega Last lipsticks, so I would repurchase these definitely. The first one is Cherry Bomb. It's 918D. And this is like a really nice, like, burgundy color. The next one is Just Peachy. It's number 903C. One of the few peaches in my life that actually worked for me. Let me swatch this so you can see. Yeah, this is like one of the only peach lipsticks I've ever owned that actually looked good on me. And it's, I guess, I don't know, something about the tone of the peach. So really, really like that. And the next one doesn't have a color name. It just says 916D. And this is kind of a purpley plummy shade. And I love purple lipsticks. They're some of my favorite colors. So I did really like that. So I would repurchase any of those, definitely. And the next one is a NYX Butter Lipstick. This is in the shade Hubba Bubba. And that's what that looks like. And this is a peach. And let me swatch this right underneath that other peach lipstick. This is a really pretty color. It's very pinky as peaches go. And I don't know. I don't know if I would repurchase this or not. As I recall, it was so light that it looked kind of weird on my lips because my lips are darker than this. So anytime I go lighter, sometimes it just doesn't look that good. I've come to that realization, and now when I buy lipsticks, I've been trying to buy things that are deeper or brighter or darker because whenever I try to go light, it just, I don't know, just kind of looks weird. And last but not least, this is a Catrice lipstick that my friend June had sent me a couple of years ago. It's from the Ultimate Color range, and it's called In a Rose Garden. Really pretty lipstick. Catrice lipsticks are a really nice formula. You can get Catrice lipsticks now at Ulta, but very, very few Ultas carry Catrice in store. Most people who buy Catrice from Ulta have to order it online. I don't place any orders online for anything anymore because not once but twice my credit card information has been stolen. And I don't know for sure who misused it, so rather than chance it, I don't order from anybody online anymore. But anyways, yeah, Catrice lipsticks are really nice, and if you have access to them, then go for it. That is In a Rose Garden. Nice lipstick, nice formula, nice color, but I don't have access to Catrice in store. So that is it, you guys. Sorry this video was so long, but I feel like the information that I provided with this was kind of important if you were interested in trying any of these products. So that is it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.